Buffalo Bills head coach Sean McDermott took the podium as he addressed Shadur Sanders, Myles Garrett, in this Cleveland Browns matchup that is coming up. I'm going to get right to the part where he addressed Shadur Sanders. What do you know? Shadur Sanders, good young player. The offense has ratcheted up since he's taken over. How about that, Kevin Stefanski? How about that? A real coach with a real quarterback in Josh Allen, recognizing real talent and real play in Shadur Sanders.
You've been doing it wrong your whole life, judging quarterbacks before the Bills coach decided to casually detonate the conversation. Sean McDermott didn't hint, didn't dance, didn't sugarcoat. He looked at Shadur Sanders' talent level and basically dared everyone to keep lying. And the fallout? Absolutely hilarious.
They have. You've got a group over here, as I mentioned, I think it was on Monday in the press conference, of big-time, experienced veterans, and you got a group of a quotient of young guys who are just learning what the NFL is about, right? First-year players in particular. So it's good to have some of these guys who can teach by example, number one, and then also get shoulder to shoulder with some of these young players to impart some of the wisdom that they've learned over the years just around the NFL and our system, what have you.
Sean McDermott stepped up like he was about to give the usual coach speak casserole. Safe, bland, forgettable. Instead, he casually flipped the table and turned the Browns quarterback conversation upside down. No fireworks, no dramatic pause.
Browns back at it here. It is Bills week. They're preparing to host Buffalo on Sunday at Huntington Bank Field. And of course, that means another opportunity for Shadur Sanders. And Mary Kay, he is trying to bounce back from that 3-interception game that he had on Sunday in Chicago. And really his theme today was he's got to complete more passes, because along with the turnovers, that completion percentage is not anywhere near where it was when he was at Colorado.
No, it's really not. And that was his calling card coming into the draft and coming into the NFL. So he's really got to get back on track with ball placement, ball security, and all of those things that you need to do.
Just the kind of calm confidence that makes everyone else in the room suddenly check their notes and wonder if they've been watching the same games. Because when a coach who pilots Josh Allen looks across the field and starts nodding knowingly at Shadur Sanders, that's not politeness, that's recognition.
He's a real human, right? And I say that because of some of the things he does, number one, that are up here, and then just overall, the human side to Josh Allen is, I also believe, what endears him, in addition to his play, to this community and to people, around the world, right? Because he's real, and I think that's refreshing in the day and age of, role models in the sports industry.
That's a professional quietly saying, yeah, this guy is real, whether you're ready for it or not. Shadur wasn't framed as a project, a placeholder, or a let's see what happens experiment. He was framed as a problem.
I'm leaning Shedeur for two reasons. One, I think Shedeur has something, and I want to see that before I move on. Two, I just can't, I can't believe, as of right now, I don't believe any of the quarterbacks in this draft 5 years from now are going to be definitively better than Shedeur. That doesn't mean that they're not going to be drafted in the first round, but what I mean is, I think Shedeur, I think he was a
nice
top 40
spin
pick.
on this. I like this.
Stop.
I like this. What a supporter we have here.
But I think Shedeur was a top 40 player in this last draft.
The kind of problem defensive coordinators hate, because it doesn't show up on paper as chaos, but still ruins your night. The offense didn't just look functional with him under center. It looked sharper, faster, and noticeably more awake. That's the kind of improvement that doesn't come from vibes. That comes from control.
My job as an evaluator ain't to say whether Shadur Sanders can take a bad team and resurrect them and he's going to be some sort of savior. That was never what the evaluation is. The evaluation is, do you have the prerequisites? Do you have the skill set? Do you have the intangibles? Do you have the arm? Do you have the raw materials that we can build around? And when you go watch these football games, that's evident. They understand that, but it's disingenuous. They trying to have that conversation when they know what it is.
And that's where things get funny, because while some corners of the football universe were still busy debating whether Cleveland should maybe think about someone else, McDermott was already talking like a man preparing for consequences. Not hope, not potential, consequences. There's something deeply ironic about a Bills coach doing what Cleveland's own critics refuse to do: acknowledge that Shadur's skill set actually changes the math. Not flashy chaos, not backyard hero ball, vision, timing.
We know, of course, that one of those interceptions was Jerry Jeudy's fault, but still, Shedeur has to go out there and put some really, really good tape out there because this is his audition, and now he's only got 3 chances left to prove to the Cleveland Browns that they don't have to draft a quarterback with one of their 2 first-round picks. So accuracy, footwork, and ball security will be paramount.
Yeah, and Ashley, I feel like we're just living it in real time with a rookie quarterback. Some of those inconsistencies where you go from a game like San Francisco that was up and down to a great game.
The annoying ability to see something forming before it officially exists. The kind of quarterbacking that doesn't trend on social media, but quietly stacks first downs and makes defensive film sessions deeply uncomfortable. That's what makes it sting a little more. This wasn't hype. This wasn't coach politeness. This was one of those moments where someone accidentally tells the truth before realizing how loud it landed.
I'm hearing that the Browns are leaning towards taking a quarterback in the April draft. And I don't. The lack of prep or reps definitely showed up in this emergency stuff. But has he progressed? Yes. Is he accurate? Yes. Is he good downfield?
Yes.
Yes.
I would say I like what I see build around him. Because
wow. Really?
Yes. Am I sold that he is the franchise guy? No, I'm not. But Riz, I've seen enough this year alone.
And just in case anyone thought the praise was free, McDermott immediately zoomed out and reminded everyone that Cleveland isn't just one player deep, because looming behind all of this optimism is Myles Garrett, the human weather event disguised as a defensive end. Preparing for Garrett isn't a strategy, it's negotiation. Chip him, double him, triple him, say a prayer, still watch him rearrange the pocket like he owns the place.
Is there a way that we can get rid of these guys and still keep Sanders as the quarterback? If the Browns fire Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry, that means they clean house, which I want them to do. I don't believe that you can roll into another season with any of these decision makers in the building. I just don't think you can do it. That does pose an issue for Shadur Sanders and his future as the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, because the new head coach and GM will have no allegiance to him. They're going to want to get their guy that they want to build around. That is all very well and true.
Garrett isn't a matchup. He's a math problem with no clean solution. And the fact that McDermott talked about him like a force of nature only adds to the bigger point. This Browns team isn't a punchline anymore. It's layered. It's annoying. It's talented in ways that don't scream for attention, but absolutely demand respect. Which brings us back to Shedeur, because the funniest part of all this is how quietly the narrative flipped. No apology tour, no grand announcement.
Tony said something yesterday that I liked that he said it.
Yeah.
He goes, if they would have developed him like you wanted them to, like, I'm talking the minute you get in the building, we're building around you as the coach, like they did with Cam Ward.
Right.
Like they did with Jackson Dart. My kid's as good as those guys. Come on. I'm sorry, I think he is. Is he a finished product? No. Does he hold the ball? Yeah. Does he have a lot of work to do? Yeah. But the clay, the mold is there. That's what I see. Now, it's what's around you. Who's going to be his coach next year? What kind of offense?
Just one opposing coach calmly acknowledging what's been happening in plain sight. The offense works better. The ball comes out cleaner. Defenses can't just sit back and wait for mistakes anymore. That's usually the moment fans realize they're late to the conversation. And McDermott didn't even sell it. He didn't oversell explosiveness or turn it into a highlight reel pitch.
That there's just too much hate for Shedeur. I mean, you guys have probably seen it too, right? I think he's the most scrutinized NFL quarterback on the internet right now. Everything he does, everything he says, it's looked at through a microscopic lens. He's not getting the treatment that any other fifth-round pick would get. I'll tell you that for sure. It's every single snap, play, whatever it is, we're looking at and criticizing like crazy.
He talked about efficiency like it was a weapon, about balance, like it was dangerous, about preparation, it was inevitable, which is coach language for good luck dealing with this for 4 quarters. The Browns somehow have become the team people have to take seriously without the league officially announcing it, and Shedeur has slipped into that most inconvenient category of quarterback, the one who doesn't look dramatic but keeps winning moments anyway.
For people that say definitely no, like they definitely know yes, or they definitely say no, I don't think we can answer. And guys, this is the thing that when he started to be the starting quarterback, we just did not. We don't have the talent around him to do a full evaluation on him. We just don't. And it's what's going to make it so challenging. The other part of this is, we know that Mendoza is available. Is Moore going to come out? Like, those are the only two.
Because when a respected coach starts adjusting his game plan instead of his language, that's the tell. That's the moment preparation replaces skepticism. Shedeur isn't being discussed like a future idea anymore. He's being treated like an immediate inconvenience. And that's the fastest way narratives die in this league. Not with arguments, but with film, adjustments, and long nights for defensive staff. So here's the real question. How long before the league stops whispering and starts reacting? If Shedeur keeps forcing this level of respect from opposing coaches, what happens when the results get even louder? Drop your thoughts below, smash like if you see it coming, comment if you think the shift is already here, and subscribe so you don't miss what happens next.